Hello everyone, welcome to the IELTS reading lesson. Today we will study IELTS 21 Test 3 Passage 1, Saving the Saiga. This passage has 13 questions in total. The first 7 are note completion questions, and the last 6 are true/false/not given questions. These questions can be divided into 3 types. There are 2 synonym replacement questions, for logic comparison questions, and 7 keyword location questions. Knowing these categories helps you find the right method faster. Note completion questions mainly use keyword location, while true/false/not given questions need careful information comparison. This article has 9 paragraphs. It is a typical scientific text that introduces the features of the saiga and the threats it faces. From passage 1 to 3, the text introduces the basic situation and adaptations of the saiga. From passage 4 to 5, the text discusses 2 reasons for the saiga's population decline, poaching and habitat loss. From passage 6 to 9, the text introduces other threats, conservation efforts, and the current population status of the saiga. Looking at the question distribution, the note completion questions are mainly in the first half, while the true/false/not given questions cover the whole passage. Next is the note completion for Q1-7. One-word limit, mostly extracted directly from the text. Let's look at question 1. The note says the nose can block dust. Let's see what the text says. The word before the blank is block, so we need a noun that means dust. Let's go to paragraph 2 and look for a description of the nose's function. The text says the nostrils filter out dust. This is exactly what the note means by block dust. So the answer to question 1 is dust. Let's look at question 2. The nose can cool the blood in summer, which matches lower the temperature of its blood. The clue is coolda, so the blank must be a noun after coolda. Go to paragraph 2 and scan for sentences with cool and blood. The text says cool the blood. This word is directly given in the original text, no replacement needed. So the answer to question 2 is blood. Let's look at question 3. The saiga has a heavy winter coat that it sheds when the weather warms up. The clue words are heavy winter coat and sheds. Go to paragraph 2 and scan 4 seasonal adaptations. The text says other seasonal adaptations include a heavy winter coat. The answer word coat is directly given. So the answer to question 3 is coat. Let's look at question 4. It is a gap fill. The statement says male saiga are a special target for poachers because something about them is valued in traditional medicine. Before the blank we have there, and after it are highly prized. So we need a plural noun here. Let's go to paragraph 4. The second sentence says male saiga are a special target because their horns are highly valued in traditional medicine. The original text directly gives the word horns. This word is directly given in the text, so no replacement is needed. So the answer to question 4 is horns. Let's look at question 5. The statement says another threat to the saiga's survival is loss of habitat, caused by farming and human settlement. The clue words are loss of habitat and agricultural expansion. We locate paragraph 5. The first sentence contains these clue words. The original text directly says loss of habitat, which matches the statement exactly. This word is directly given in the text. So the answer to question 5 is habitat. Let's look at question 6. The statement says physical barriers can block seasonal migration routes. This matches the text. Clue words are physical barriers and migration. The blank needs a noun. Go to paragraph 5. Look for physical barriers and migration. The text says physical barriers can block the seasonal migration routes. The word routes is directly given here. So the answer to question 6 is routes. Let's look at question 7. The question says the steppe region has become more arid, and the smaller streams that saiga depend on have dried up. Before the blank, we see depended on. So we need a noun, something that saiga depend on. Let's go to paragraph 7. We see the word streams, these are the small rivers that saiga depend on. The text says the smaller streams that the species normally depended on. Streams is the answer. This word is directly given in the original text, no replacement needed. So the answer to question 7 is streams. Let's look at question 8. Today, numbers of saiga are distributed evenly across 4 nations in Central Asia. Key clue words, distributed evenly and 4 nations. Locate to paragraph 1. The scanning landmark word is well over 90% of the global saiga population. The original text says, this country is estimated to be home to well over 90% of the global saiga population. The statement says evenly across 4 nations, but the passage says Kazakhstan has well over 90% of the population. This is a direct contradiction, a clear antonym replacement. So the answer to question 8 is false. Let's look at question 9. For most of the 20th century, the population of saiga were falling. The key clue word in the statement is population were falling. Let's locate paragraph 3 and look for information about the saiga population. The original text says, numbers steadily recovered throughout most of the 20th century. The statement says population were falling, but the text says numbers steadily recovered. These two ideas are completely opposite. This is a clear example of an antonym replacement. So the answer to question 9 is false. Let's look at question 10. The statement says, efforts to protect rhinos in Africa had a significant effect on saiga populations. Please pause and test yourself first. Key clue words, efforts to protect rhinos, significant effect, saiga populations. Locate paragraph 4. The scanning landmark word in the text is, misguided conservationists. The original text says, misguided conservationists tried to relieve the pressure on threatened African rhinos by actively encouraging the use of saiga horns. The statement says efforts to protect rhinos had a significant effect on saiga. The text says this effort led to massive poaching of saiga. This is a synonym replacement, efforts to protect rhinos left-right arrow relieve pressure on African rhinos, significant effect left-right arrow poaching reached epidemic levels. So the answer to question 10 is true. Let's look at question 11. Unpredictable fluctuations in climate are threatening the wildlife of Central Asia more than in other parts of the world. Key clue words, threatening the wildlife of Central Asia more than in other parts of the world. Locate paragraph 7, scanning landmark word, unpredictable fluctuations in climate. The original text uses, saiga struggled to cope with temperature extremes and unpredictable fluctuations in climate. The text confirms the threat to saiga from climate fluctuations, but it does not compare this threat to other parts of the world at all. The comparison in the statement is completely missing, so it is not false, it is not given. So the answer to question 11 is not given. Let's look at question 12. The Altyn Dala Conservation Initiative was formed for the benefit of a number of different animals. Clue keywords, for the benefit of and a number of different animals. Locate to paragraph 8. Scanning landmark words, protect and restore and many species. The original text uses, protect and restore, the many species they support. This is a synonym replacement, for the benefit of matches protect and restore, and a number of different animals matches the many species. So the answer to question 12 is true. Let's look at question 13. The Altyn Dala Conservation Initiative's recognition as a World Restoration Flagship project attracted additional international funding for the scheme. The key clue in this statement is attracted additional international funding. Let's locate paragraph 8 and look for the phrase World Restoration Flagship Project. The text says, in 2022, the United Nations recognized the initiative as a World Restoration Flagship Project, an accolade. The original phrase is recognized as a World Restoration Flagship Project, an accolade. The statement says this recognition attracted additional international funding, but the text only mentions it is an accolade. There is no information about any funding or money at all. This concept is completely missing from the text. It is not false because the text does not say the opposite, it simply does not provide this information. So the answer to question 13 is not given. Now let's summarize 3 key patterns for true-false not given questions. Pattern 1, opposite meaning. The statement and the text say the opposite thing. For example, questions 8 and 9. The statement and the text have opposite meanings. Pattern 2, subject switch. The statement changes the main subject from the text. Questions 8 and 9 also involve a subject switch. Pay attention to the difference. Pattern 3, missing information. The statement's information is not in the text at all. For example, questions 11 and 13. The text does not mention what the statement says. Remember, be careful with absolute words. If you cannot find the information, it is not given. Finally, let's summarize the important vocabulary from this passage. Paraphrase: efforts to protect rhinos. Left-right arrow. Misguided conservationists encouraged using Saiga horns. Paraphrase: for the benefit of many different animals. Left-right arrow. Protect and restore the many species they support. Completion. Key terms: dust, blood, coat, horns, habitat, routes, streams. That is the intensive reading explanation for this passage. I hope it helps you.